Welcome everyone to the 28th episode of the Boss Key podcast. I am your co-host McQuack306, joined as always by the illustrious Jessie. What's up, Jessie? How you doing?
Good, man. Josh, I'm doing really good today. The illustrious. I like that. Yes, this is Jesse Fregoso, or Jebby G, as known on almost any gaming platform. Big Josh, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, man. A lot of gaming stuff this week. A
Ooh,
lot of gaming
announcement
stuff
galore.
to look forward to. Uh,
Yep.
so just surrounded by a lot of good gaming recently. Uh, well, actually, all this week, just because of games coming out like Horizon Forbidden West,
Mhm.
Elden Ring,
Mhm.
Destiny 2, The Witch Queen. I've been getting ready with that and playing more Destiny 2 again. Just finally actually playing as my other characters, my other side characters, the ones that I don't play with as Titan
Mhm.
and Hunter, since
There we go.
I'm a Warlock main, and it's fun. It's
There we go.
fun trying out a different class and not knowing and dying because I don't know how the jump system works for each one.
And and dying. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and
and
dying,
dying.
but I'm getting used to it. I'm unlocking everything that's part of the 30th anniversary and getting their weird street clothes and stuff like that for Bungie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Hunter, I think it's no, the Titan has like some weird street clothes where his shoulder pad has like pink needles, like the Needler,
Pink needles?
like the
Nice.
Needler. So it looks pretty cool. And just doing that, leveling up and doing all the missions and trying to get as many weapons ready for the Witch Queen, which comes out I think the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's and then also Pokemon Arceus on the side. Catch them all again. Uh,
Again.
what have you been playing?
Oh my goodness! So right now, the announcements this week has just been insane as well for me. What I've been playing recently still is Nobody Saves the World. Still, I'm still on that. That's my Game Pass game that I am playing. That I'm enjoying the heck out of. It just looks so amazing on my TV. It's so colorful and so. Again, Drinkbox Studios keeps knocking it out of the park, just like Guacamelee. It's just something that holds me in the art style and the little transformations that you're getting. And I just realized, of course, by nobody, you start off as like a plain character. He's a nobody, quote unquote. But then he's able to transform into things like a rat or a warrior or a bow and arrow. I'm getting out of the first dungeon. It's like really like a simple start, but it kind of gets the mechanics in there. RPG like system that's been a lot of fun, and you level up, and the little side notes tell you when you level everything up, and you select your which ones to claim at the time. But Nobody Saves the World is again something I'm recommending everyone to play. It's fun, it's different, it's on Game Pass, it's sweet. I'm also going with I've been playing the Disney collection that I got from last week's episode when we were talking about Aladdin and Genesis and Super Nintendo fans. You guys really love the Genesis one, huh? You love it so much more. I guess you win, McQuack. You win. The Genesis one was better. But I still love my Super Nintendo one. But I'm going to give the Genesis one shots, and I've kept playing that version of it. And ah, maybe it's better than I expected. Maybe my kid goggles back then just didn't want to say that, oh, your version's different. There are better ways than mine. Like, my more adult mind now can see things. I can tell the difference between two things compared to before. But also, the one I'm really excited for, because everyone keeps posting about it, and I know you've talked about it, and I know everyone's talked about it. Yes, I will get Elden Ring when it releases. I'm gonna get Elden
Yes.
Ring when it releases, and you got because you said Dark Souls like, and everyone's like, just don't be afraid to die. Someone posted like a tweet, don't be afraid to die in this game because death does not mean failure. It doesn't mean that
It's
that
not
you didn't
really
do
though.
good. No.
It's very like training.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the experience is dying in the game because you learn from it or you
Mm-hmm.
hope to learn from it. It's not like a hack and slash. It's more like study the enemies because even like the most common enemies will kill you. Imagine if like the like Goombas were just as deadly, and
Ah.
It's just figure out, okay, Goombas can't jump,
Mm-hmm.
or at least the ones without the wings. So you can kind of,
The little flapper ones.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really an amazing like style of game that they made, that it created its own genre, the Souls like.
There we
So
go.
I
And
I, I
I'm gonna
mean I,
get that.
I
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
get that
playing
puppy for
that day
this
one.
Xbox. Yeah, you're gonna play it day one. I'm gonna get it for my Series X so I can get it on my big TV.
Okay, yeah,
So I
that's
can
what
get
I'm
it.
getting into too.
I'm gonna get it on my Series X, and I'm gonna see what the PC requirements are. But I think I really want this as a physical Xbox Series X game.
There you
So I'll
go.
just end up getting it. I'll just end up getting it for that because again, I want more physical. But something I'm not getting physical. Night Dive Studios is doing it again. They released another like retro first person shooter, but remastered their way. And Night Dive Studios have done it to me where I'm getting it just on their name alone because I trust them so much to make an amazing remake.
Yeah.
So it's called Power Slave Exhumed. Um, I have never played it, never heard of it, but it's similar to like Duke Nukem was back then.
Okay.
So that's already a shooter that I love. So yeah, like Night Dive Studios did that to me already. Like just by their name alone, like oh, it's from this company. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Like just straight up. Like that's how reputable of work they've done. Speaking of people who've done reputable work in a lifetime, Nintendo Direct was this week.
Nintendo had a huge direct that I honestly did not expect so much, because with Nintendo, for me it's a hit or miss. They can either
Mhm.
knock it out or be like, what are you guys doing? What is this?
What is this?
Like, what is this? And so this one, it was like announcements after announcements after announcements, and it was good announcements. It wasn't like B tier level stuff. I mean, of course, not everything's gonna be for everyone.
Mhm.
As a reminder, but I think for me, like 90% of the stuff they talked about, they showed.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's for me. That's for me. Thank you. That's for me.
Oh hell
And
yeah.
one of the main ones, I'll just bring it out because it's like probably the biggest one, is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Um,
Mhm.
that IP, that franchise is getting so much bigger, and I always love seeing like JRPGs, grow and grow to the point where people
Mhm.
know the name, people know the art style, and even though
Mhm.
each one is different, similar to like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, um,
Mhm.
it still has like that feel, the atmosphere of like the core identity of it, if that makes
Right.
sense. The
Mhm.
similar battle mechanics and
Mhm.
art style, just
Mhm.
tweaked a little bit more. And then similar backgrounds where it's like, oh yeah, they're on top of these two titans, these huge titans that now little creatures and people and mechs inhabit the world, the planet of a mechon or a titan.
Mhm.
So that was like my biggest surprise, my biggest excitement, and it's this year. It
Mhm.
comes out in September, and just like 7 8 months, it's already here, which is really cool, and it's very different compared to like how hey, here's a game that comes out in 2026.
Ugh, I
Here's a
know.
here's a title card.
2026. Oh my god.
You
That's a
know,
long time.
And I'm not gonna say that Nintendo does it best, because I mean I've been waiting for Breath of the Wild 2 for 3 years now,
Ugh. Yep.
and Metroid Prime 4 for 5 years now,
Mhm.
and Bayonetta 5 years now. But
Mhm.
when they do it right, when they do it like this, that's what I appreciate. That's what I like.
I get a feeling that Nintendo, I mean, I could be wrong on this. At least the majority of the time. I mean, the only time I can say it's different was back then when they announced Zelda for the GameCube. Remember where they had that one video with him versus Ganon, the big fight, and everyone was all excited, and that was the video that got like the most screams or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it was just a big deal. And then it wasn't released till many years later, and then they flipped the script, and we got the Wind Waker instead.
Mhm.
Um,
And people were
I
like,
feel
"What the hell is this?"
What is this? What is this? What is this? What am I looking at here? Cartoon Link. Um, but the thing is, Nintendo now, at least I feel, again, could be wrong on this, but how I feel Nintendo is now very careful with releasing their trailers now. Like, I think they're gonna release their trailers and they're gonna be out like the same year or two, like within a short time frame. They're
Mm,
not doing like super. Some of the other companies I've seen do the super more long haul type, like where
yeah,
they're like, oh, 2024, 2023, something like that. But Nintendo's like, literally, like just this example, the Direct, it's coming out in a few months, or it's
yeah,
coming out here. And I feel Nintendo does that a little better than anyone else.
yeah. I feel
And
like they do
so they keep
that.
it more close. They keep it more close to the chest. So they keep it more close to the chest for themselves.
Yeah, and a lot of these, I don't think anybody leaked it. You know how leaks,
Mm.
as cool as they are to like hear about, I don't think it's as great as when you hear the announcements and it's like a shock factor. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 wasn't leaked. It wasn't like,
Nope.
oh, here's a screenshot. This is what they're working on, and then they announced it like, hey, here's our biggest surprise that you already know. You know, it's nothing like that. So I kind of appreciate that too, like how tight they are with their announcements on their games. They're very
Bro,
secretive.
Twitter exploded when that announcement came out. I think I was in the middle of work because, like at least if I've said in the podcast before, dietitian by trade in the morning. So usually I have to see things later, or I have to see things off of Twitter if I see it. Um, but yeah, like that was just something that was on Twitter, like back and forth after they announced it. I was like, oh god, Xenoblade! Like everyone's like, like it was going like huge. So I believe it. I'm gonna say that I haven't played any of the Xenoblades, but it's just something that Twitter just popped off on. I'm like, oh man, this is a big deal coming in here.
Yeah. What other announcement? I know that was like my main one, just from a
Mhm.
JRPG, fanatic. But what popped
Mhm.
out for you, for their
So
announcements?
so from what I saw in the announcements, most interesting things because I'm going all retro again. I found it very interesting going back to the RPG world that Earthbound is now getting released on the Switch online services, both
Yeah.
the NES version, Earthbound Beginnings, and Earthbound, the Super Nintendo game.
I never played the
Uh,
beginning ones.
yeah, the beginning one is NES. That's way back because um, that was way back, and we played Earthbound first because this is one of those things where they released the Super Nintendo one first to the US, and then they decided to release the other one. So it's like so they have to change the name to Earthbound Beginnings. They can't call it Earthbound Two because it's not technically Earthbound Two. It's
Yeah.
like before. So they call it Beginnings. Um, but again, the one that everyone really likes, Earthbound 3 as well,
Mother.
which there's Mother, well, excuse me, you're right. Mother 3, pardon
Yeah.
me. It's by the Mother series, Mother 1, Mother 2, and then Mother 3. I've seen video reviews of it, and everyone talks about this one, but Nintendo has yet to offer any. Now, there have been English translations, not like no one's
Fanmade,
done it.
right?
Yeah, like either like ROMs or someone else has done it, but Nintendo hasn't released an official one. And man, I'm telling you, Nintendo, you're gonna sell this one. If you do, like, put it on the eShop only or something. Doesn't matter. Like, people want to play that game.
I think that's why
Like
I
a real
haven't played it,
translation.
because it's just never been officially like here. So
Yeah, it's not here. They haven't done anything yet. Nintendo, stop sitting on it. Like you can stop sitting on it and just do it. And um, there's that, and um, the Advanced Wars 1 and 2 coming out, which we already knew
yes,
was coming out, but I can't wait for that. That's gonna be exciting as
I
well.
love Advance Wars. I think I'm one that prefers Advance Wars over Fire Emblem. That may be like, so controversial. I don't know, but for me, I've always liked the gameplay and the art style of, little tanks, and then when you fight somebody,
Yeah.
it seems like this little small animation of like five tanks blowing up, 10 soldiers. I've always liked that.
When you see the little exactly like you said, the little animations pop up. You have like five soldiers here, three tanks here. They
Hmm.
both fire, And then you see the soldier side,
Like, fuck.
like, oh god, and then the tank, ding ding ding, like nothing, like nothing happened. So that's gonna be great. Um, and speaking of Fire Emblem was also announced as well. A spin-off. Fire Emblem fans are getting a little action as well. But of course, the other one that's coming out, the million seller. This is gonna put the Switch over the board on selling everything as much as it is now. Switch Sports? What? It's gonna be like everyone and their mother wanted that one.
Yeah, that's the crazy. I think that was one of the craziest announcements. It's just they're bringing back sports, and it was one of those where my sister in law asked about, hey, do you guys still have a Wii and Wii Sports? I've been wanting to play it, and I was like, yeah, I gotta go look for it somewhere, and then they announced that, and I'm like, I don't have to look for the Wii anymore. I think the biggest Wii exclusive is no longer exclusive, and it's gonna come to Switch, and
Nope.
I'm hyped. I actually liked Wii Sports. It's one of those like, uh, it just was pretty good as a casual. Hey, let's play bowling. Let's play tennis. I really liked Wii Sports. That was a crazy one to announce.
Christmas parties
Yeah,
and holiday parties are about to explode again. Here we go.
just make sure you wear those wrist straps.
Have you seen those videos where they throw the controllers at the TV?
Yeah.
Dude, that's bad. If you ruin my 65-inch TV, I'm gonna smack the heck out of you. I'll be like, my TV, no. And the fail videos are always the best of people throwing their controllers at the TVs.
Um,
And oh my god, that again, this is great. Portal 1 and 2 coming to the Switch.
yeah, a
I
lot.
love Portal.
Actually, just a bunch of ports. The portals 1 and 2 are coming through, and then they're porting No Man's Sky.
There you go.
To
That's
the
a
Switch.
big game. That's a big game.
That's a
Like,
huge game. I mean, it was
like,
it was bad at first at launch, but it's become
Yeah.
a much bigger and more positive game. They're bringing out what is it, the Force Unleashed,
there we
and
go.
the Assassin's Creed trilogy.
The Ezio edition, right?
Ezio
Ezio one?
edition, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
But then I found out that the Force Unleashed version is the Wii version that they're porting. That's why it has
Okay.
like that weird multiplayer. I was like, I don't remember multiplayer in the Force Unleashed, but that was on the Wii version. They're also
Nice.
bringing back Front Mission
Mhm.
remake of Front Mission. I love the Front Mission games. Another type
Okay.
of tactical RPG with mechs, of course, and that's gonna be really good. It's gonna come first, I believe, on the Switch, but I think it may come out to other platforms like PlayStation, and if it's like everything else, it skips Xbox. But
I know, dude. It's like Xbox gets skipped and jumped every time. And I hear it from the fans, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they do that. They always do that.
hey, you want to make less money? Like that. That's what I hear that's what I think goes on in those business meetings. Hey, you want to make less money? Let's release it on less platforms. That'll
Yeah. Like Xbox. Oh, there's not as many that play that. Hello, haven't you seen the news of all the acquisitions and everything? People have Xboxes, and why don't you just release why just release one on Xbox, man? More money, more platforms, dude. Okay, if I had a video game company, CEO, whatever, please release it on everything possible.
yeah. If we ever make
Unless
a game,
obviously,
it's going on everything.
yeah, man, like, dude, Xbox, PC, PS5. By the time we make a game, it'll probably be PS7 or something like that. Or like PS7, Xbox, Series Double X or something like that. I don't know, like whatever that would be, but release it on more things. Like, but again, I don't know the technicality of releasing on different consoles, whatever. I know people are gonna come at us with like, it's kind of hard to release it on blank different chips and whatever, but Like, just make that a focal point. More consoles, the better. You'll make more money when you expand your player base, because not everyone's gonna have all three systems. Not everyone's gonna be like me that has a PC, an Xbox, and a game, and a Switch, and a PS4 all in one. Some people got one. I know, but mini rant there about that. That's just how I feel, and that's what I believe in. That should happen.
And then updates on games that we already have. Like I think the biggest update besides the Metroid Dread, friendly player mode and super machismo mode, they're doing an update on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with a season pass. You want to talk about that?
Well, what I wanted to talk about that is I wanted a Mario Kart 9, but all right, whatever. We'll just get more Mario Kart 8 on that. No, but I think from when you said earlier, before we started today, was 45 tracks that was getting released for
48.
48 tracks. So okay, a whole nother game. Like, dude, there's a lot of tracks. Are these all new tracks, or are they like re-releases of like old tracks?
They're all re-releases, but they're remastered for classic, classic games. So all of the previous Mario games from the original Super Nintendo to even like the mobile version that came out a couple years ago, those tracks are being remastered and added onto the game, which I mean I still love. And there's already people going, oh, remaster this one, oh, let's get this one, I hope this track gets remastered, which there's a lot of good tracks. I mean that's like 8 games that they can lick through.
So dude, they go back from the tracks of Mario Kart 1 all the way through 64, Double Dash, DS, Super Circuit, 7. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think the first one is like Choco Mountain or something like that from the N64.
Oh,
exactly.
Play that level.
Exactly.
Play that level. I see it.
Like so it's $24.99 for the whole like season pass, or if you already have the Nintendo Switch Online expansion, it comes included. Which that's where I'm starting to see. I think we spoke about this. Like, if they start doing DLC, and it gets included, I think that's when people start seeing now it's a pretty good investment to go into it, because especially if they're hitting multiple like big IP. So they already hit Animal Crossing with the expansion included with the service. Now they're including Mario Kart 8, which is also one of their top games. The next one that's their top game is Smash Brothers, and like I said, it'd be crazy if they just include all the season pass, all the fighter passes, all the fighters included, with just having the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. I think that'd be pretty cool, and I think that would be one that would be next. But who knows? But yeah, them adding DLC is pretty good.
Yeah. And if it's included with everything, great. That's one above some of the other Xbox or PS services. They don't usually include expansion packs. It's only like the games that are there.
Yeah.
Like I'll use one example, Doom Eternal, like that I have on the Xbox Series X. I have it, but I don't have the DLC. I don't have the Ancient Gods 1 or 2. So, I mean, if Nintendo has the service but includes expansions, dude, go for it. That'll put a 1 up on that.
Yeah, I've only seen it one time with Xbox. I think Xbox, they offered the Hive Busters DLC for free, or included, not free, but included with Game Pass. Which, I mean, that's similar to what Nintendo is doing. So I've seen it, but not, it's like a one-off. I haven't seen multiple times.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, we'll see what Nintendo does there. I think they're not doing anything anymore with Smash until the next one comes out, because I think they said they were done with Smash for now.
Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure they would have announced another character if Smash was still going. They would have announced one more with because that used to be what a lot of people would wait for Nintendo Directs at time too. Certain Nintendo Directs, because they want to know who the next Smash character is.
Yeah, they wanted to hear that.
Yeah. Who got that letter next? Who got the invite?
Who got the invite?
Yeah, who gets the invite to Smash? Who comes in?
End of an
And then
era for that. I actually love saying like, "Oh, Goku's next." I know it's Goku. Goku's
oh,
next. That type of all the
dude,
rumors
heavy.
and wants.
Doom guy was even like rumored, and then technically he's in it, but he's a skin. He's not a like a character. Counts somehow. Somehow it
I
counts.
prefer. I'd rather that than nothing. I actually like that. The Doom skins and stuff like that. Because then your character can be Doom guy.
There you go. Um, and some other hitters that just happened there, just to like throw it on in there. We gotta at least mention this one time. I didn't mention it because I haven't played it yet, but another one that Twitter exploded for, Chrono Cross Remaster is
Yeah,
coming out. $20, at least from what I remember. 20
yeah.
bucks.
It's 1999,
So
and it's actually on Xbox and Switch. It's gonna come out for all those platforms as well.
whoa, did you just say a JRPG's on Xbox? Did hell just freeze over? What happened? What happened? What's this?
I think I'll be picking up both copies. I think it's one of those that I'll play on the Switch on the go, and then I'll have it on my Xbox as well. Cause
Here we go.
support that JRPG on an Xbox. Cause
Yes, buy on Xbox. Actually, good thing that you said that. If it comes out on Xbox, just buy it.
yeah,
Buy
just
it
buy it.
there. Just buy it there. don't get on
At least
anything
that's
else.
our
Just put
preference. That's our preference. I don't
yeah
just buy it
yeah.
so that they know.
Please,
Oh,
if you don't.
yeah. Oh, they liked it. Let's throw out Chrono Trigger, the one that they actually do want.
Yeah, there you go. Not guys. If you don't have an Xbox, please don't buy an Xbox and just buy it just for this game or whatever you want to do. Buy it for the console that you have. But if you just happen to have Xbox or multiple systems, show the JRPG love on the Xbox by getting on the Xbox if you can. If you can't, you can't. Don't worry about it. We'll love you either way. It's all good. Um, I think we said Portal already. Kirby, the Forgotten Land. Yes, Kirby can become a car. He's gonna. There's memes of that everywhere now, where Kirby just becomes anything. Um,
And then they
that's
showed
something
off
that's
some stuff from Salmon Run is continuing on Splatoon. For those that
I was just looking at that right now too. And then Splatoon. Yep, Splatoon's getting more things. Oh, it has, and it's a co-op
yeah.
mode.
So Salmon Run is very similar to a horde mode. Think of horde mode.
Oh,
Horde mode with
nice.
some objectives tied to it to go to the next level. Yeah. So it's not
Love
really
it.
necessarily just like, oh, just kill all the enemies, or in this case splat all your enemies. It's they'll do like, oh, splat your enemies, but also retrieve the eggs
Here we
and
go.
put them into this canister and stuff like that. So I
Ooh, I
love
like it.
Splatoon. I love that game. So that's probably gonna be a good game that I jump into and spend hundreds of hours again.
Yay. And that's how you know it's a good game. When you can do that, that's a well crafted, doesn't matter in the graphics or just gameplay or just anything. The one that you find yourself just jumping back into in your sleep or just want to just jump back into, you know that's a good game. You know that's a good game. That was me.
And that's a co-op mode.
Yep, that's right. Co-op mode. Which, in honor of Valentine's Day coming up by the recording of this episode, so it'll probably be over by the time it comes out, but just saying, it's Valentine's Day weekend, whether you're celebrating it the day of or the weekend of, but it's kind of hard because it's Super Bowl weekend as well. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the big game weekend as well. So uh, in honor of Valentine's Day for this week's episode, we wanted to talk on some of those games that you can play with your friend, your girlfriend, your wife, your fiance, like things you can play together, things that you guys you can both play and both have a great time.
It's a list of just games that like Jesse said, whoever you're with and however they identify in the relationship, play these games. These are really good games to play. Either a lot of these are actually local split screen as well, but they also offer online
Yep.
co-op. The first one that I wanted to bring up is one that I've been playing recently. It Takes Two.
Game of the year.
Game of the year of 2021. My wife and I, we've been playing, and it's actually pretty good. It's one of those games that it's weird, but it's similar to those who've played it near Automata, only in the sense that there's different gameplay styles. It's not just the same gameplay throughout the entire game. They change it up. Sometimes I've seen it where it's kind of like it turns into like a Diablo esque uh, camera perspective, and you're fighting like that. And then sometimes you're on an airplane, shooting down a squirrel, and sometimes you're in a spaceship, trying to
Yep.
collect light and electricity. So it has a lot of different gameplay mechanics that go with the puzzles that you can't just go, oh, I know what to do here because I did it in the previous level. No, it's they're all unique. Um, so I like that aspect, and a lot of the boss battles, actually all the boss battles that we've played, you need your partner. You need that communication, like, oh, hold down the rope so that I can, hit his legs or something like that. It's that type of stuff. You can't hit the legs without somebody holding the rope, which holds the boss. I'm just trying to be vague so that I don't spoil anything, but it's similar to that. You need the other person in order to do another action, and I think It Takes Two is. I could see why it won Game of the Year and why so many people love it. But it's a very strong co-op game, and you buy one copy and you get a digital code for a friend, or I think they're able to download it if they're playing online, or you can play locally on the same screen. Yeah, It Takes Two is my first pick of many.
Nice. And the thing about It Takes Two is it literally does takes two. You have to play
Yeah,
with two people. You cannot do this by yourself. And you can't have actually, because I never tried it yet. Can you have a computer controlled second person or no? Like it's
no,
not possible at all. No, it's not. Okay. So in your world, you're talking about a pure co-op game. Like it needs two people, which
yeah,
is it's also, I believe, the reason they need to do the release of giving another person another copy. Because if they're going to force two people to buy two copies, oh my god, they would get pissed if they said like, "Oh, you and your wife want to play? You both need it. Like
you both
you
need it.
you both need to buy the game." so, um, so the first one that I actually wanted to talk about was in the terms of co-op. Something that I remember from co-op. So this game you can play by yourself, but you can do it co-op as well, which at the time exploded, which is the Halo series.
Yes.
I'm going to start with local co-op, which was Halo 1 through 4. So unfortunately, for whatever reason, they took it off in Halo 5 and beyond. Because all of a sudden they think, oh, maybe in the world people don't want to meet each other in couches and everything, and they just want to play. But when they took it off, I'm all like, really? It's literally like the thing that sometimes some people live for. I've seen friends who love to complete legendary together.
Yeah.
Like they want to do a legendary run of either Halo 1 or 2 or 3, and doing it with a friend local was just a blast. And dude, like I would have friends that wanted to only do that. They have legendary runs, or they just want to play together, or maybe you just want to hold someone's hand through the whole game, or have your little brother or little sister or little cousin play while the other person is doing most of the work. But it's still fun because you get to be involved in it. So Halo was one of my first experiences of a co-op first-person shooter. And I'm putting like the whole Halo series in as a co-op game. So yes, you can do it on 5 and 6, but it's just online only, which that's how a lot of the world's going to move on to in the future, because split screen's getting hard. A lot of people are not liking like screen crunches anymore, like how they used to. It's funny how we have bigger screens now, but people don't want to crunch the screen anymore. Now they don't want to share a screen, when back in the day we could share a 4x4. We could have a 4x4 with our little CRTs and we had no issue with it. But now no one wants to do that. Yeah, but it was still a fun experience. So the Halo series is just something that was magical co-op wise. It was it was a dang good series for co-op. At least starting off for me when I think of the word cooperative, which is also something still that you can play, um, at least back then, with someone in the couch with you.
Yeah, and just speaking of crunch, TV crunch, one of my picks was Resident Evil 5, and that game was notorious for the split screen crunch. And I remember playing it for the first time, and with the buddy the night it came out on night
Mhm.
date night release midnight release, and we were trying to mess with the settings for like 20 minutes. Like, oh yeah, what? Why is this TV like that? Why are my screens so small? And they did this
Mhm.
weird thing where it was like not really, centered. It was kind of like
Mhm.
one screen was top left and the other one was bottom right, and so you had this awkward black space in the middle.
Yeah,
It was just weird, but playing online
yeah.
with somebody, that was the experience. It's kind of weird playing RE5 alone. I mean, you
Ooh.
can, but
Oh,
it's so
no.
much better.
It's hard. It's hard. At least I think so.
Yeah, it's one of those games that it definitely it's you can finish on your own, but to play with somebody else, it just makes the experience a lot better. Like, hey, I got SMG bullets, but you have the SMG here. Take my bullets, and oh, I
Yeah.
found this gun,
See?
but you take the gun because I already have it, or something like that. It was pretty
Mhm.
cool playing that way, and that's definitely cooperative. Um,
So the thing I loved Resident Evil 5 as well. I actually beat that one by myself most of the time. So with yes, I did. I played it by myself, computer controlled Shiva. I still liked it,
uh
but
huh.
yeah, the online experience is a lot better when you have it with a friend. I'll tell you this right now: do not play on the hardest difficulty with the computer. Like
Yeah.
that is it won't happen. It's just not gonna happen. It won't work unless you really don't like yourself. You really just want to punish. And the thing with the AI is because you can't control the AI from. You can control the AI for giving you items and stuff because you can go up to them and do what you have to do. But like as far as like saving ammo or not using the health herb just because
That
they
was
got touched or
worst.
whatever, it was
Yeah.
like oh, but I did like no, it's very cheesy. So when I mean like the story, I liked how ridiculous it got. Like
Yes.
I love the game itself, but they focus so hard on co-op that they kind of made the single player experience a little bit more difficult. But I
Hmm.
still like the direction they were going. I mean,
Yeah.
they wanted to make it where two people can go in, and that's another example of like you can play it by yourself, but oh, 10,000 times better on co-op. So this is like the the co-op Resident Evil. Something I wish Resident Evil Zero was. Um,
Yeah.
like I wish you can have both players. Because no lie, me and Josh, funny story. Yesterday we were talking about Resident Evil 5 because one of our favorite reviewers, some call me Johnny, just decided to review it again. He went back to the series, so it was like, oh dang, like he's talking about it, and I text him that I'm seeing. He's all like, I'm just watching it during my lunch, and I thought that was funny. I was like, see, great minds think alike. So when that happened, and I agree that I wish Resident Evil Zero was like that because Resident Evil Zero's okay, but I haven't officially like beaten it yet. I got like so close to the end, and then I stopped playing for like a long time,
And then
and
you
I feel
just
like I had
forgot it. Like,
forgot it, and I feel like I had to start over again to know where I'm doing because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I got to start over from the beginning again. But I just want to beat it. I'll complete it. But yeah, Resident Evil 5, the co-op, Resident Evil.
and it has my favorite Albert
Mhm.
Wesker. I think he's
Yes.
he's top tier. Like, even that voice, like, "Yes, global
Yeah.
saturation,
Shit.
Chris."
Chris. That is the best Wesker.
Yeah.
Two against two.
I
Dude,
just love
that was
his like dialogue. His just his banter against Chris, and he's so calculated and so like just full of himself, like it's
Yeah.
Chris, like it was so funny.
Dude,
Like I'm like, man, I don't remember this Chris, like, or this
that,
Albert Wesker being like that,
nah,
but
he's cooler like this. He's not the old school Stars operative. Now he's super villain
yeah,
Albert Wesker. Uh, like and that look, that idea, his trench coat look and everything. First off, that became now his trademark. They
yeah,
put him like that in fighting games now, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and they use the same voice actor. The voice actor killed it too, and um, but Albert Wesker, yes, the super fast dodging, and that's when Matrix was still a thing. It looks like and everything. It's still the Matrix. He looked like an agent from the Matrix. Like
yeah.
he's
His
the ultimate
shades,
guy. His shades just keep it on there, and yes, man, I love Wesker. I just love the slick back hair, and
yeah.
I just like the look. Wesker's a legit villain. I love him. He's surprised we haven't mentioned him as a boss yet. That'll be in the future, maybe.
I,
We'll for future heads up, we'll say maybe some point. Uh, and jumping from like Resident Evil, um, now I'm actually going to jump into a very very classic game that I thought was great for the platforming genre. Um, to jump from something very actiony, but now I'm going to go all the way back to the Super Nintendo, no lie, because that's where I had a lot of my co-op games. Because that's where a lot of my local multiplayer, when it was the only option available. Donkey Kong Country can become a co-op game
yeah, I love
when
Donkey Kong
yeah,
Country. Yeah,
dude, that's back then you could play two-player compete or two-player cooperative where one person's Diddy, one person's Donkey, and that was a time where you play with a friend, and it wasn't like the Mario game where one person has to play, oh, you died. Next person had to play, oh, you died. Next person, or you have that one person that's so good they can just complete the whole game and never let you play. Like it's like there's some of those games where you have to wait until you die until you can switch.
I didn't like playing as Donkey Kong because he was so big and just like bulky compared to like well
Nimble D.
this is just the franchise, right? So like in general, like when you play Dixie Kong or Diddy Kong where they can fly or kind of
Yeah.
sputter and float tail
If
style.
if you wanted the best duo was Diddy and Dixie, which is
Yeah.
why Donkey Kong Country 2 is still considered one of the best because Donkey Kong Country 1, big lumbering Kong, smaller nimble Kong.
Hmm.
Then in two nimble Kongs. One that's like the cartwheel and it's quick, and the other one has the helicopter spin. And then the third game, they brought back a big lumbering Kong again with the helicopter spin. So basically, no one wanted to be Kitty. Everyone wanted to be Dixie. No one wanted to be Kitty Kong. Um, well, again, there might be some people like big lumbering ones too. But that was my first platformer experience where co-op was a thing,
Okay.
where co-op happened then.
Yeah, that's a good one. I remember playing the Donkey Kong Country series, but I don't remember the numbers like accurately. Which is the one with the babies? I
Like the
think
banana birds.
no, I think it was Dixie Kong, and then like it was like the baby Kong. He was like
Yeah, that's the third one. That's the third
okay,
one. Kitty Kong. That was the one I was saying. The
there you go.
Kitty Kong.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
the
big
one.
lumbering one. He's like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, he's just like Baby Huey, pretty much. For
Yep.
those who know who Baby Huey is,
Oh
um,
no, we just aged ourselves.
damn.
You brought out an old reference, man. You just dated us. But yep, yep.
Yeah,
Baby
well,
Huey.
Baby Huey, just lumbering big baby. I'm like, oh my god, I feel old now. Well,
Nope. We're young. We're young. Just say it. We're young.
yeah, that's the one I remember playing a lot co-op with my cousins, and yeah, nobody wanted to
Nice.
be him. Everybody wanted to
Mhm.
be the one that could fly, Dixie Kong.
Yep.
But
Dixie was just the chick. She was the one everyone wanted to play
yeah.
her. Mm-hmm.
Um, well, going with the platform, continuing platform, uh, the one I wanted to mention is also the first game my wife and I played together, which was Cuphead. Uh,
I'm
Cuphead. Yeah.
gonna tell you that's also a game that got announced so many times, and I thought would never see the light of day. That game, man, that game. I don't remember when they first announced Cuphead, but I
That was
remember they
years ago.
announced
Yeah,
it.
years
They
before release it.
announced, yeah, they announced Cuphead, and I don't know why, but 1920s, 1930s vaudeville was just starting to look amazing. Like the animation, that was the most. Besides, okay, back in 1994, Donkey Kong Country was like, oh, the best animation and
Hmm.
everything. Then going all the way till 1920s, everything's like hand drawn, and there's so many different animations. Dude, Cuphead's amazing on an artist spectrum.
Artists on both the actual art,
Mm-hmm.
what we see, as well as like the music. The music, it's just it gets you pumped for each
Mm-hmm.
one, and it was one of those games that she saw it and she's like, "Hey, what's this game?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Cuphead, but it's pretty hard." And
Just saying, like
she's
it's
like, have
difficult.
you beaten it? I'm like, no. And she's even more so. She got more intrigued and she's like, I want to play it. I'm like, we could try.
uh,
And yeah, one night we tried and we died maybe like 50 times the first level before we actually beat it.
nice.
And then from there, I'm like, okay, we could do it. And yeah, every night for like an entire summer, we went through the bosses, the levels, and
Mhm.
it became one of our favorite games. Cuphead is one of
Nice.
those really good. I mean, there's people that have beaten it by themselves, and
Mhm.
it just depends on I guess, the person or the two people.
Mhm.
But it was one of my favorite co-op experiences because the game is that difficult, and and being able to revive
Mhm.
each other was also a game in itself because she would die, and
Mhm.
her ghost goes up like woo, and it starts going up. But if you parry the ghost, then you'll get a thank you, and they
Thank
get
you.
revived, and it's cool. And a lot of times she'd be like, "No, leave me, leave me." And I'm like, "No, I need you," and I'll revive her. Almost to the point where I almost die myself, and then it'll be the same thing on the opposite end. And I'm like, "Oh no, I died." And she's like, "Oh, I got you," and yeah, it just continues, and it was a fun experience. That was a fun summer, going through it, and then the following year it finally released on PlayStation. I bought it and we beat it in like 2 days because we were
Nice.
so used to the game already.
You're so
And
pro already.
yeah, and we were like, wow, I didn't even think it was gonna be that hard. And I'm like, yeah, it's because we already know
Mm.
the bosses, and
Yep.
we basically made them look like shmups.
There you go. Baby, it's because we know how to do this now. That's what you would say. Oh, and
I,
by the way, your story of going up and sacrificing your love, your story, so you're sacrificing your life so you can go save your love. Everyone, if that's not a great video game love story, I don't know what is. Then I don't know. I don't know what will be that. That's love right there, sir.
Mhm. Always
There you
catching her.
go. There you go. There you go. I will always be there for you. I will always. I will defend you. And I will help you. And I will always bring you back. There you go. That's the power of love. Dang.
There you
See,
go.
it does work Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
See, told you,
it
it
is
does work. It works. Um, dang, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm playing Cuphead by myself right now. I have it. But I don't know. I should make it more of a co-op experience. I have the big enough TV now to do it, so let's do it. Make it more of the co-op. Um,
strongly recommended.
highly on the co-op setting. Um, a huge setup of games because there's so many out there. I can't just put it into one, but the beat 'em up genre is the world of co-op, like overall. Like anything in regards to like Streets of Rage, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Final Fight. I'm gonna go over some classic arcade ones that were some of the best ever, which I know we talked about a little bit on the last episode, so I won't go super into detail in each one, but these were like co-op heaven. You didn't really want to play these by yourself. Like Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, the Simpsons arcade game. Dude, everyone was throwing these quarters at that game, and you can come in at any time. That was a co-op sensation, and nothing beat giving a high five. You're like, "What's up?" Like when we beat something. I'm telling you, I did. Like at least, like I thought it was some of the best experiences ever. And then, um, like the Simpsons game is my favorite game from a beat 'em up genre. I love the Ninja Turtles as well, but the Simpsons game was one that we always wanted to complete through, like the amusement park, the streets, the cemetery level, the TV station level, the forest level, like, and and the other one I didn't play as much, but I dabbled into whenever I saw it was the X-Men arcade game.
Yeah.
Of course, with the most infamous the infamous live read ever, "Welcome to Die," like which is the beginning. "Welcome to Die," and there was a very rare chance that you got the 6-person machine, which is the big one. There was the huge machine for that. So that was co-op heaven right there. That was a mess. That was a big mess. But 90s beat 'em ups were co-op heaven. Like that, you gotta play those. And then nowadays, like Castle Crashers, the re-release of Teenage Mutant Turtles are coming up. Streets of Rage 4 is actually apparently very, very good.
I love that one.
From a lot of people. You love that one.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
see,
played
I
it.
haven't played that one yet. And so again, it's still there. And I think that's a great game. And the great thing about the beat 'em ups, they're easy for everyone to come in.
Mhm.
Like it's not something super complicated with like a ton of buttons you gotta learn. It's like a couple of attack buttons, a special button, and that's it. So you can get someone who's played video games for like 10 years, or you can get someone who hasn't touched the game in their life. And just show them like a little bit and then just carry them to the beginning and they'll learn. Which is why I love those beat 'em ups. Anyone can come in, and I don't have to explain a whole lot. You can just boom, you're right in there. You're right in the thick of it. And the more people I can get gaming, oh, the better. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think the last one I played was Scott Pilgrim versus the World that released last year.
Another good one. Another good one that was released.
Yeah, my wife and I, we've played that one, and I love the aesthetics of that one. Like that
Mm-hmm.
old, like you've seen. I mean, for those who know Scott Pilgrim and the comic book, art
Also a
style.
favorite movie. Love
Yeah,
that movie.
it's like that pretty much. So very easy to understand, very easy to play. Really liked it.
Right. Now you got me thinking about Chris Evans in the movie. Like you, Scott Pilgrim. And then like when he's like doing, "Oh my God, he's talking to me." Like he's all like amazed. I'm gonna watch that movie again because of you. Nice going. Nice going.
My favorite line: double standard.
and then I like when the fight's already beginning and then his roommate just comes. It's like, "Scott,"
Yeah.
with pointing up his coffee. "Evil X." And then or he's going like, "Oh, right, fight." And then it's like it's just, oh my God, the roommate is the roommate is like the low key one of the favorite characters in that movie because he's so blunt, but then he's like nonchalant about like everything going on. I love it. I just love everything about that movie. If you haven't seen that movie, watch that movie, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It's great, cult classic. All the acting's phenomenal. Just go for it. Just give it a shot. What's another one that you got, man? Because we're co-oping this podcast. What other co-op game do you got?
Well, the next one that I would do is the Bro franchise for me. The bromance, the Bro game, the Bro co-op, which is Gears of War franchise. Nice.
Oh man,
I love
nice.
I love the Gears of War franchise and playing that in co-op in any mode, whether it be horde mode, story mode. I think the horde mode is where I'm at though the most.
Yeah.
Just being able to, especially if you have like a group of you, 4 of you, and each of them, each person knows their duty, what they're supposed to do, and their class, and then you just last as long as possible. I remember playing that game, Gears of War 2, like nights, like late into the night. 2 o'clock, and then like we finally get to wave 50 and defeat the damn boss.
Oh,
It was so good. It was so gratifying, like just to do that after like hours. So I love the Gears of War franchise. I think that's one of the best co-op
I'm getting.
experiences.
Oh God, I'm already just sitting here getting excited for Gears, and I haven't even talked about it yet. For all that you don't know, Josh is looking at me through our computer monitor screen, and he already sees me. I'm like trying to contain myself because Gears was like the ultimate game. It was like, and that's I love that. Just like how I told you the Doom series in the past, but Gears was before that. Like you would just like chainsaw the enemies at first, and with your friends was even better. Just, like the whole 9 yards and the whole locust horde and the grenades were awesome. You just have like you just toss that and then you have the most ultimate weapon, the hammer of dawn. Like a
My
beam.
favorite weapon. Yeah.
Yes. And it's so, and you get to do this with a friend and you get to have some beers with this. I really just want to drink like an arrogant bastard next to this game. This needs to be like an IPA beast beer. Like it has to be like, yeah. But oh man, now I just want to hop on my PC and play Gears 4 and 5. I'm gonna play it on, no lie, I'm actually really liking I love it on the Xbox, but I'm really liking. I want to try it with mouse and keyboard controls because they integrated it really nice. No lie for Gears. But Gears again, co-op, horde mode more than story mode. Story mode you can just do it by yourself. No need to.
Yeah.
Not as difficult unless you want to do again. If you want to do the hardest difficulty, it'll probably be a little easier with a friend. Um, but horde mode. That was just enough. Late night sessions, like how you said, like we would just meet up and we would just get pissed at each other if we didn't revive each other at the right moment. It's like, dude, like
I'm right
come
there.
here, here, and my life was like getting bigger and bigger. Like, stop, dude, stop right here. And then they get cornered. It's like, never mind, we're never. And then it got to the point where it was like, never mind, just go. Like, you'll die if you come here. And then you'll always have that one friend who, man, I'm gonna date myself again with you have the Leroy Jenkins style who thinks they can just come in and destroy everything by themselves. Like, no, don't go. Um, but yeah, Gears was amazing. And Leroy Jenkins I got from, of course, another very popular cooperative game, World of Warcraft, the biggest multiplayer online RPG ever. Or at least it was for the time, until other games came out in the future. But in the 2000s era, there was no game bigger than World of Warcraft ever.
Yeah.
I think everyone and their mother was talking about that game.
Uh, I remember I didn't even play that game, and I knew about it. Like I knew how
Yeah.
big it was. Just never. I've never played it, never touched it, and just remember hearing like my friends like, "Oh yeah, you don't want to get into it." Like
Yeah,
you
and
don't.
they're not telling you because it's a bad game. They're
Yeah,
telling you
yeah,
it's
they're
gonna
not. They're
sow
not.
your
Yeah,
soul.
that was weird. They didn't tell me because it was a bad game. They were telling me because of how much time they spent, and then paying the subscription model, um, and stuff like that. And so I just never like got into it. I never. They did. They would always
Yeah.
tell me like, oh yeah, I'm grinding for this, or I'm trying to get this quest. I'm trying to get this sword. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'll keep playing Pokemon.
Cool story, bro.
I'll keep playing Pokemon Soul Silver then.
There you
Bye.
go. Que le vaya bien. Like you start seeing like the ones with like the late night raids. You start seeing the ones with the dark circles under their eyes. Like, yeah, we've been playing well. Like we've been playing like for a long time. Um,
But it's no
but yeah.
different. Like you said, there's other games that are bigger now. Like Final Fantasy 14.
Yep.
Which one of my cousins met his now wife through Final Fantasy 14. So I feel like that's like his ultimate co-op game. Uh,
Ooh.
like imagine playing and then like meeting someone online, and then meeting them in person, and then just yeah, they're in love and they're married,
The
and it's
power of
crazy.
video games. That's the power of love. Again, I'm gonna say it again because who says you can't meet people in the gaming world? That's a lie. You could definitely meet people in the gaming world. Like there's that I when you told me that story, I didn't believe it because I knew he had his girlfriend and now wife, but like I didn't know they met through a game. That is
Yeah.
beautiful. And a friend of mine, Russell, he used to meet people on the video game world too. Like he would play MMOs and like Diablo 3, for example. The Diablo series is also a fantastic series that you can co-op. Now, this is now no longer well, unless you're playing a console version, you can do the local,
Hmm.
but these are mostly online co-op. But you can meet people online, and now in today's world, the internet community is so huge, and there's ways to talk: Discord, video, Skype. Um, there's so many ways to discuss and meet people and get together the game, and the connectivity is huge. Oh, we didn't even think of that as when we were kids. Like we just thought it was only going to be on the controller sitting down next to you, and you had to meet friends outside and bring them here. But now you can meet them in the gaming space. Now you can meet them on YouTube or wherever. So oh, the world of co-op is just getting bigger and bigger each day. I just hope they do not go the way of certain games and remove local altogether, because I feel that would be a disservice. I feel like I hope that local and online will exist forever together, because I don't want to get to a point where two people have to have a PS5 or two people have to have an Xbox just so they can play the same game if they don't want to do that.
Yeah, the best part of co-op is it's just option, open option, split screen
Mm-hmm.
or online.
Mm-hmm.
But very rare to have it where it's just one or the other, and it's always better
Yeah,
when it's
both.
co-op. It's both. You get to share the
Mm-hmm.
screen, share the gameplay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
even better on certain games when it's like the whole screen is the co-op. The whole screen is like for both. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Little Big Planet series. There's no
Mm-hmm.
split screen. It's just the entire screen. The new
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario Brothers series,
Mm-hmm.
where it's the 2D side scrolling, where it's four players.
Mm-hmm.
You all share the screen, kind of like the beat 'em ups that we mentioned earlier. They don't do
Yep.
split screen. They do one single screen for
Everyone's there.
both. Yeah, I like those the best. I think when you're able to see just the whole playing field of it.
Awesome. There
Um,
you go.
yeah, just
Um,
honorable mentions on my part.
mhm. Go ahead.
The Portal series, Portal 1 and
Yep.
2, is really
Mhm.
good. Left 4 Dead was one of my first games that I played online co-op, and was the
Mhm.
reason why I got Xbox Live to
Nice.
begin with, was because instead of continuing going to my friend's house, hey, yeah, we can go online, right? And
Mhm.
that was one of my favorite series as a co-op. And then the Borderlands series,
There you
just
go.
an amazing game to play with your significant other or your friends.
And the only honorable mention that I actually had, the Left 4 Dead series, was when it brought up survival horror, first person shooter, but now the main focus is online and surviving as a group.
Yeah.
So Left 4 Dead and then Left 4 Dead 2, still really top hitters on the Steam marketplace and other marketplaces. And this game's like always on sale a lot of the time. You see it a lot of times on sale. So give that a shot if you want to do something like together with a partner or friend or anybody. Um, but I'm actually going to save my my favorite co-op game for our final segment because it is actually involved with the final segment.
And with that, it is our final segment. You guys know already with that, it's the boss pick of the week. And this week is JPG's pick. What do you got for us this week?
Yes. Okay. So I wanted to save it for last because it relates to my boss pick. So for anyone, I'm going to date myself again, like with that, but for anyone who's ever played this, they know how hard it is, but you know how great it was with a friend. My favorite co-op game still of all time has been the Contra series, and more specifically, Contra 3: The Alien Wars on Super Nintendo. That game is amazing. The Contra series is amazing as a co-op experience. Yes, you can by yourself, but with a friend, it is so much more fun with your machine guns and your spreader guns and your homing missiles, and you're going through the levels each. The Nintendo one is the infamous one where you need to put the Konami code to beat it, because there's no way you're gonna beat it in 3 lives. No Konami code for this game, but it wasn't as difficult. It was just more fun. The animation was better. So I saved it because it's my favorite, and my favorite boss for this week is a character known as Big Fuzz. He is a gigantic mech warrior in the game. If you look up the Contra 3 box art, he's in the box art. He's in the train that's in the background. Like, it's a big skull head that opens up. And it's one of my most memorable boss battles. First off, it starts off with his 2 smaller robot minions. So one shoots more from his laser gun, and the other one jumps around and then shoots the lasers when he's jumped around. So you have to be agile to avoid them, and also while you're shooting them. So you take care of them. You have to destroy one, and then they explode, but then they show up in a half a robot. So you have to destroy the half a robot too. So it's like 2 versions you have to destroy. And then, oh, it's over. Thank God, I got rid of both of them. But then I'll always remember this as a kid, and it's still the one that excites me today. The 2 hands come through the metal grate. He just opens up, and it's a huge, gigantic Terminator-looking mech, just looking at you, smiling at you, and getting ready to destroy you. So, and it's in a tiny little confined room. So it's not even like a big open space. It's like a confined room, and you look like a little ant next to him. So he's memorable for his battle because you have to use the whole level. You can go along the side of the wall, you can jump on top, climb to the top, go down, and you have to because he fires the eye lasers that are homing. So you have to jump around those. And then he also has the flamethrower, which goes all around the level, so you have to keep running. The flamethrower was so cool. And
so it's
and
a
then
boss definitely always on the move. You're always trying to move. You can't really stay still.
You hell no, you cannot stay still against this boss. And then after he does his flamethrower, he releases a couple bombs into a certain corner or certain bottom of the room. And you have like 3 seconds. You have to either be up top, or you have to be all the way to the right, or all the way to the left. It's intense throughout. This is the first time I actually had a tough time picking a certain boss, because I love this game. There's 2 bosses I wanted to pick in this game. But I chose this one because it was the most memorable to me. It's on the box art. And this is a game that I bought the Contra collection on the Switch, and this is the one I always go back to. I always go back to Contra 3. I play this one. I play the Japanese version too, and I also play the one with the. Excuse me. When I meant the Japanese one, I meant the one where you're replaced with robots instead of people. Okay. Like they use robots instead of like human beings. So
I was like, I thought this was a Japanese game. But
no,
yeah,
I mean like
sense, yeah.
Maybe like US version and Japanese version. Like a lot of these re-releases came out. Like the Disney collection I bought, they have like the Japanese version of Aladdin and the like the one that came out more in Japan, and then there's like a final version. I was surprised there were multiple versions when I got it. I was like, okay. But no, Big Fuzz, big gigantic Terminator mech warrior robot for most memorable co-op boss to me, and my boss pick of the week.
That's a good pick, man. I never heard of that one, but your description, I remember playing Contra. I think I played Contra 1 on the NES, and I remember, side scroll. Yeah, side scroll, and then sometimes, the bosses would have to be like upward, like you had to aim up. And it was like a corridor where they would like, it kind of looked like this, like the corridor would just keep going up. And that seems like a cool boss, just like one of those bosses that has multiple mechanics, not just like, oh, here's the red weak spot, just shoot at it and I'm just gonna keep shooting at you. No, he's got flamethrower, homing missiles, big
Yeah.
arms.
Laser eyes, like he's got bombs. Like, dude, don't stand. You don't stand here, man. You're gonna die. And if anyone here, if you've never played a Contra game, man, that was the toughest of tough games at the time. Any Contra game is hard. Just if you want something hard, play a Contra game. Just play a Contra game. I mean, now of course there's Dark Souls and other games, but dude, if you want old school hard, get some Contra in you. You'll love it. You'll love the hard game there. But also play with a friend, because you don't have to go hard separate. You can go. You have both of you guys, so you can make it difficult for both of you.
And that concludes our show. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us this week. We hope you guys have a wonderful week, a wonderful Valentine's, however you spend it. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Peace out, everybody. Love you all. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is you're listening. You guys are all bosses. You guys are all awesome. Thank you again, guys. Have a great one.